Hi guys, how are you? Happy Tuesday. I have my buddy here with me. Oh, and a little belly. This is gonna be quick. I'm not feeling great. Physically I'm okay. I'm not feeling great because I was not very spiritually fit today. This evening, more specifically. I was at work and I had like these pains in my stomach, and so I went to the restroom. I went to stand in line for the restroom, and while I was standing there, I started to feel a little dizzy, and I couldn't catch it in time, and I fainted at work and close to the manager's office. And I knocked my head, and I got a big. That's not a big. I have a cut on my nose, and this is a little swollen right here, but I'm okay. And honestly, it's not the first fainting spell that I've had. I faint often, not often, but at least once a year. I don't know if you call that often or not. But I have 3 occasions now that I fainted here in South Florida. Kind of funny stories, but we'll just stick with tonight's. So that happened, and then I made the decision to keep working because I wanted to make the money, and a lot of me wanted to go home. Don't get me wrong, but I knew it was the right thing to stay and work. So that happened. So I physically was feeling just like a little weak, a little embarrassed. My pride was wounded, and then my manager Adam just kept hounding me, and I got upset. I'm a really good worker. I do my side work thoroughly. I am probably the only one that actually polishes the silverware before I roll it. There's so many little things that I do to try to help the freaking restaurant. I'm team player to the extreme. I'm really good to my tables. I don't fuck up. And he was just on me, and I got upset. I got really upset. So he's going to leave, and he tries to give me a high five, and I said, I said, are you going to be nice now? And he said, no, but just don't end the feud. Just end the feud. Give me a high five. I'm like, I'm busy. And he wouldn't leave. So I fist bumped his high five, and I don't think he took kindly to that. And then before he left, he tried to say goodbye again. I said, oh, Adam, do I need to sign an incident report? Because that's what's supposed to happen at a restaurant. You have an incident, you fill out an incident report to follow whatever, workers' comp, all those fucking laws, because they're fucking workers' rights laws. And then he gave me some bullshit and said that, this other manager would have it for me, and that it had all the hospital information and all the workers' comp information if I needed that, blah, 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 blah. And I just said, thank you. Anyways, I'm not going to the fucking hospital. I'm not going to file for workers' comp. I just wanted to be a pain in his ass because he was a total pain in my ass. And that really wasn't the right thing to do. There's like an unspoken rule in the restaurant industry, which is bullshit, by the way, that restaurant workers don't have any rights. And we don't. Very rarely does someone enforce sexual harassment problems. Very rarely does anyone report unkind work. What's it called? Work environment. It's just not a thing. Sexual innuendos are all over the place. When one of the chefs, management, was helping me with my nose, made a comment. He goes, okay, look down. Get on your knees. No, just look down. And that's common in the restaurant industry. I'm not saying it's right. I don't think it's right. Just kind of goes with the territory, I suppose. I think that's really fucked up. But anyway, so, I use the incident report as a threat. Not as a threat, but more as like oh yeah, well, you want to be a dick? I'm going to be a bitch right back. And to me, that wasn't really spiritually fit behavior. I was acting out of spite. Maybe if I was doing it for the right reasons, if I really was hurt, I really did want more information on it, that'd be one thing. But I did it to be a pain in the ass. Just call it what it is. So, that sucks. So now I have to figure out how I can go to him and not really apologize, because asking for that report is not wrong. It's by law what I should have been entitled to. I shouldn't have had to say anything to a general manager. He should have known to fill that out and have it ready for me. But I need to find a way to smooth it over, because you know what this means. He does all the scheduling. He influences the managers on the floor plan. I mean, it's just I could have potentially effed myself. So I really hope that there's not any negative repercussions because of my asking for an incident report for an incident that happened at work. But you never know. Again, it's the restaurant industry, and again, I don't agree with it, but that's just how it is. Yeah. So we'll see. I have to figure out a way to go to him and just tell him that I was, not feeling well. I was embarrassed by the fall, and I was already frustrated with my coworkers not pulling their own weight. And it just felt like I was on the defense all night from continued comments. And that I want to work in a peaceful environment, that I want to have a mutually respective relationship with this guy. I like him a lot. I think he's a good guy. I enjoy working with him. He's been very kind and very accommodating. I think I've told you guys this before with my schedule and helping me to make sure I can see my son whenever I want to. He accommodates my school schedule. There are a lot of things that I'm really grateful for. And I don't want that relationship to be messed up just from tonight. So, all right, that's it. Sorry, I guess this is going to be a longer one. April 23rd, a God of our own understanding. Many of us understand God to be simply whatever force keeps us clean. For a lot of us, God is troublesome word. God is a troublesome word. We may doubt the existence of any sort of power greater than ourselves, or we may remember uncomfortable experiences with religion, shy away from the God stuff. Starting over means we can start over in many different parts of our lives, including our spiritual life. If we're not comfortable with what we learned when we were growing up, we can try a different approach. We don't have to understand everything at once or find answers to all our questions. Sometimes it's enough just to know that others believe. Just for today, all I have to know right now about my higher power is that the power helps me clean. And that's the truth. I started this little thing by saying I wasn't spiritually fit today, and I talked a little bit yesterday about being spiritually fit is aligning my will with God's will. And I don't know what God is. I don't know if it's a being. I don't know if it's a force. I mean, today, to me, it's mostly just like Mother Nature and knowing that the world is bigger than me, and I believe that there's a fate and destiny, and I think if you put good out into the world, good will come back to you. And it's important to me that that's personal. My conception is not going to be the same as yours. And that's okay with me. I don't need to beat someone over the head with my ideas and make them agree. It's not my style, and that's not my place. Again, it's a very personal relationship. You are a badass. Your thoughts inspire emotions that inspire action that forms your reality. We are creatures who are driven by emotion. When we're all fired up, we're not listening to anything else. No, not wisdom and logic or fear and doubt. Our emotions compel us to participate in staggering displays of both the magnificent and the moronic. I'm going to read that again. Our emotions compel us to participate in staggering displays of both the magnificent and the moronic. And I like this first line as well. Your thoughts inspire emotions that inspire action that forms your reality. Our reality is what we make of it, right? It's a form of our beliefs manifested into the world. And, my reality might be very different than your reality. We talked about this before, too. about truth. You know, we could all witness the same event, but my version is going to be different than your version because I have different things that have shaped my reality and the way I see things, just like you've had different events in your life that shape your reality. You know, your morals, ethics, past experiences, those all shape who we are today. And then our emotions compel us to participate in staggering displays of both the magnificent and moronic. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been moronic. That's an easy one, right? Um, and they're emotional. It's emotion driven. You know, a lot of what we do is driven by emotion, anger, sadness, frustration, excitement. So those are good ones. You know, hopefully, as I pray more, you know, and become more God centered, my intellect will win over those emotions. Where tonight, you know, nights like tonight, I won't have to get so petty. Um, I won't have to get so petty, you know, and get overcome by fear and frustration and sadness, anger. And I can think through a little bit more of what I'm about to say or do, right? Because I want my actions to be of magnificence, right? Any actions that are led by emotion, I'd prefer them to be awesome, to be amazing, magnificent, rather than having my emotions steer me in the action of stupidity, moronic. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to bed. Thanks for listening. I'll let you know how it plays out with Adam. Good night. Love you.